Meet Janet Goodman. She's the one with the multicolored specs and the enormous smile. She's 66 years old and winding down a 25-year career as a psychologist in Beechwood, Ohio, to concentrate her efforts on starting her second act as an entrepreneur. It's an unexpected road that started the day she woke up with blurry vision and an unquenchable thirst.
I've always eaten well, I work out, I'm not overweight, and it hit me out of the clear blue. It's like, where did this come from?
At age 61, Janet was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, which requires constant blood sugar monitoring and insulin injections to regulate the disease. If not carefully controlled, the condition can easily land you in the hospital or be fatal.
And it was just devastating to me. I think I walked around for a month just near tears the whole time, not knowing just even what to do or how to do it.
We first met Janet a year ago at a conference for entrepreneurs in Nashville.
The name of my business is Yadabags. Yadabags is a purse that's designed to carry medical equipment for people with chronic disease. So people with diabetes can put all their paraphernalia in it and actually find it.
She came to us to ask a question on camera about getting funding for her business.
Since Yadabags is a startup, I'm really interested in how to go out and get funding if I don't want to go into any more debt than I've already gone into.
It was inspiring. Here's a woman at retirement age. But instead of heading out to the golf course, she wanted to start a new career, helping herself and others with diabetes.
I couldn't retire, truthfully, and sit around and just play bridge or sit by a pool. I get antsy. I like to be busier.
When we met Janet, she'd already invested $60,000 of her own savings, but she was a little lost. She believed wholeheartedly that there was a market for her business, but didn't quite know what to do next. So we enlisted a team to try and help her out. Could Yadabags really be a successful company? Or should she end it here and not throw good money after bad? Our first call was to marketing expert Denise Blasevic from the S3 agency. Denise and I had a heart-to-heart. We'd both been a little skeptical that the company could work.
So I want your honest opinion. When you saw the Yada bag the first time, you thought, not a bag for me. So did I. Yeah.
But we were just a focus group of 2 and not the target market. So we decided that if we really wanted to know if this bag had a customer base, we'd have to take it on the road to get more feedback.
Thank you very much for your help. Have a great day, ladies.
Denise traveled to Austin, Texas to hand out surveys and conduct a focus group at the Taking Control of Your Diabetes conference, where Janet, her husband Fred, and daughter Karen had a booth with a pretty steady crowd.
Well, I was surprised because when we went down to Austin, there were a lot of people who reacted very positively to the bag, and even more people liked the name.
The name, too.
I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect it either.
And the catchphrase, yada, 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 for those of you who don't know the reference, was made legendary in one of the best-known TV shows of all time.
The popular culture came from Seinfeld, where, wasn't it Elaine that I think first said it?
I met this lawyer, we went out to dinner, I had the lobster bisque, we went back to my place, yada, yada, yada. I never heard from him again.
And it just popped in my head. I said, let's call him Yadabags.
With our hunch about changing the name of the business wrong, we wondered what else we had to learn from the Yadabags target market at the conference. The results of the focus group and the survey in Austin were mixed. 45% of the respondents thought the bag was attractive and solved the difficult problem of carrying supplies. But when asked what they thought the price should be, the average answer was $43. That was a big problem for a bag that was costing more than double that to produce.
We came back from that research, and it wasn't a ton of research, it wasn't expensive research, but it was research. And we came back from there going, new plan, new strategy.
It was enough to know that there's a market out there for this bag.
Yeah.
Armed with this new information, we rolled up our sleeves and started to think about solutions that could get Yadabags off and running.
She has a lot vested in this, and she has a great place that she's coming from. But there are a lot of people that have tried to do this and failed. So what we really honed in on, how do we make this different? How do we capture what's special so that we will have a critical mass that can make it a viable business?
Janet Goodman believes she has the makings of a successful business with her Yadabags And when you talk to her, it's hard to not be taken in by her enthusiasm.
All the bags have colorful lining because the line is the pick-me-up.
I love it, like your
plus
glasses.
you can see. Exactly, my glasses. Exactly. Right. I don't like dull.
But right now, the fledgling company is little more than a few steps beyond the idea stage. There is an actual product, but the numbers don't add up. And there isn't a clear plan on how to turn that around.
So, you know, we have an unusual situation here right now. Every bag we sell, we lose money on because it costs us more to produce it than that.
This is not terribly unusual at this stage, especially for a business that started at the dining room table with Janet sewing the first prototypes one by one.
I just kept cutting up different linings and to see what would fit and what it looked like. The first one took about 2 months to really just sew and create.
Once she felt she got the design right, she hired someone to do a small but costly production run to see if people would actually buy the bags. After getting some sales, she was optimistic and ready to produce more. But when she looked into manufacturing in China, which she thought would be cheap, she found that she'd have to make 1,000 bags to get the right price. That put her in a chicken and egg situation.
I'm not willing to risk retirement. If I can get orders and I have to put money in to get product that I know is going to sell, I would do that in a minute.
With an order for 1,000 bags unlikely at this point, we set out to find a solution for her chicken or egg problem by doing what she thought was impossible, finding a domestic small batch manufacturer that was cost effective. And we found just the people to help us out. Janet, I want to introduce you to Matthew and Tanya.
Hi, Matthew. Hi, Tanya.
They are the founders of Makers Row.
So Makers Row is an online marketplace, and we connect businesses, small businesses and big businesses with American manufacturers to produce products here in the United States.
You didn't know about
What
Makers
is,
Row.
no, I had no idea.
But guess what? We did. And so we went and we contacted Tanya and Matthew, and they were a great help to us. You will learn about that in a moment. But they're going to be a help to you going forward, too. Because once somebody finds a factory, that's not it, right?
Oh, that's just the first step. This is a process. You're choosing a partner that you want to be able to develop a product that's never been built before.
Makers Row did a little homework for us with an introduction to Mitch Kahn, the president of Unionware. They helped us surprise Janet and Fred with a tour of the Newark, New Jersey-based factory, where the order minimum is 300 pieces, a much easier pill to swallow than 1,000 units being made overseas. Mitch.
Hi, nice to meet you, Jen.
Hi, nice to meet you also, Mitch. This is quite a place you have.
Let's see your bag. Tell us how
There
much
we
it
go.
cost to make this one.
For putting it together was $60, not including material. It was labor only.
Okay.
Right.
Let's see
Okay.
your bag.
Okay, here's our bag.
Oh, very nice.
And the total cost
The total cost
to put it together?
to put it together be around $47.
Wow.
And the material should cost no more than about $7 or $8.
Total?
Yes.
Everything?
Yes.
Oh, I could love him.
Would you like to give him a hug?
Totally.
Mitch explained that the approach to manufacturing in China, where labor is inexpensive, is less efficient than the way they tackle a bag like Janet's here in America.
We took out almost about 60 steps in manufacturing the bag, and that's how we were able to lower the cost.
Once we tackled manufacturing, we moved over to marketing. Denise thought the Yadabag messaging was not telling the right story.
So looking at our positioning, where we are right now, Yadabags is a purse with pockets competing against all other purses and medical supply bags. There's no real focus. So we'd like our tagline to be your diabetes, your supplies, your Yada. Brings a smile, again,
like
your
it.
intent.
Uh-huh. And it tells you what we're doing.
What was the old one again?
Organized with
Organized
style.
But organized with style.
It doesn't.
I could be at the Container Store.
It could be
Yes.
anything.
Right. Although Janet liked the new tagline at first, she decided later to change it to Organize Your Diabetes Supplies with Style. Remember, the research in Austin indicated people would only pay about $43 for the bag. So even at the cheaper cost, the retail price would be nowhere near that. So Denise wanted to expand the target. And to do that, she focused on creating not just a product, but an entire line. Something Janet had been thinking about before, but hadn't yet realized.
So we want to call the Yadabags, the ones that you have now, the classic purse. It's got a very classic style.
I like that.
Good. It also makes it feel like the company is big.
Yes.
The idea from Denise? Have Janet design a cheaper insert bag called the Insider.
This is when we can reach men, we can reach children, we can reach people who have type 2 diabetes, and we can still appeal to the women who have type 1 diabetes, who are our core market, who might not have the money for this bag or might not want that style.
Denise also had some ideas to revamp Janet's website.
We want to have a happy feeling, nice colors that appeal equally to men and women and kids. And then this here would be a slider. So whatever is featured up here can be featured down here for direct click-through.
With a plan for marketing and manufacturing in the works, I wanted to turn back to the original question at hand. Should Janet spend more money to see if she can get this company going, or should she call it quits? What did she need to see that would convince her that it's worth it to invest more? She told me that if she could sell out the bags she currently has, she'd feel confident about dipping back into her savings.
And that means you've got to throw spaghetti at the wall. You have to think of every single place that you can sell them. Marketing is great, but it's not great if nobody's seeing it.
Right. I got to get them out there.
So your homework is think through where you would find a bag like this. Go introduce yourself. Give them some bags to put on their shelves to sell. You could give it to them on consignment if they didn't want to buy them from you.
Right.
Prove to them that there's a market out there.
To help Janet find her market and get her bags into the hands of customers, we introduced her to several key players that would serve as an informal advisory board. People like Suzanne Loans, a diabetes educator in San Diego with type 1, who also started a company making bags for diabetic supplies. Her business didn't make it, but she wanted to make sure that Janet's does.
Hi.
Hi, Janet. How are you?
Okay, Suzanne, how are you?
And we introduced her to Reka Barabas, the director of Bad Girl Ventures in nearby Cleveland, Ohio. They let Janet sit in on some of their Saturday entrepreneurship classes, opening up a whole new group of small business owners like herself to bounce ideas off of and network with. And last but not least, Janet hit it off with Christina Castillo-Wright, the founder and CEO of Bespoke Accessories Group. She offered to help Janet work on the new Insider concept that Denise suggested.
I'm out here in Portland, Oregon, and I am a handbag designer.
With all of these resources at hand, we gave Janet a challenge. Pull this all together to relaunch Yadabags by November, just in time for American Diabetes Month.
So this was a big day.
Oh, wow. Really big.
Do you have, after this day, is this the business you think it could be or thought it would be?
I think it's really moving in the direction that I envisioned.
What did you learn?
Oh, wow. I think the biggest piece for me is feeling like I have some support in developing it and somebody to think with, as opposed to trying to figure all of this stuff out myself, which I can't do because I don't know a lot of it.
But by the way, you've done an amazing job. No manufacturing experience, no design experience, and you created a bag.
I did. Right, I got there.
But you didn't yet create
Well,
a
I
business.
sort of got there, but I didn't get there.
Right, you've got a bag, not a business
I've
yet.
got a bag.